Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today we are yet again working on the 325 IS. So I won't even lie, I tried to film this last night and then it got dark and I got frustrated, and this is not something I'm looking forward to. So today we're starting the transmission side of things for the swap. So I need to, before I can put the engine in, which is killing me because it's like literally sitting ready to go in for like the last 3 weeks at this point, I want to get the master cylinder set up and kind of get the lines ran before I put the engine in. And then also the transmission and stuff will go on the engine before it goes in. But you get it, you know what I'm saying. I actually installed the little bushing on the pedal set. I put it on the clutch pedal, and when I took the mechanism apart, I totally forgot how to put it back together. It came put together, fully operating, and now it does not work at all. So, you know, that's how it goes around here. I tried to look it up. I think I'm missing like a little clip. Either I had it when it was all put together and when it popped out it like flew out somewhere in the garage, or I didn't have it to start with. And from what I can see, there is like 2 styles of pedal boxes. And before you ask, no, you're not gonna get a DIY on this because I have no idea what I'm doing, and it's gonna be a bitch and a half to film. So yeah, just enjoy myself documenting this. Hey, look at that, now you're on a GoPro. So anyways, as you can see, I got my little short shifter set up here, my chassis mount. My god, this is gonna be terrible lighting. There we go, hat clip gang. So as you can see, I got my garageistic chassis mount shifter, and this is what I ran in the M3 for a little bit. Obviously it won't be this short, but you can see it looks kind of gangster. I did everything I could to raise it as much as I could. Well, it might be a little rice. I'm just thinking now, you know, fucking, it's not gonna be gears like that. But anyways, you get the point. So to catch you up to speed with like something like this, because I didn't film it, there's like really great content on YouTube that's not mine about this shit. This is the thing that we'll be fucking with at a later date. We don't have to mess with this now. We'll totally deal with that another time, but the automatic mechanism came out. I think I have some footage. I'll try and insert it if I have it. And no, I did not break this. Bozo, who owned it before me, did that whenever they were trying to replace switches or something. What a dumbass. Like, come on, dude. Anyways, put the OBC and all this shit over here. Look at that MAF with the elbow. OBD1 MAFs are getting expensive. Luckily I have a few. Oh, that's part of the shift knob, my fault. This, somebody can buy that. I actually have good luck with those on eBay for some reason. And then a little cubby. All that shit, go over there. I'm gonna leave all this apart until I actually have to mess with it. This is also for the shift lock, or for the, I believe this is for the steering column lock. And I'm not sure if you're supposed to delete this, but I don't think it's gonna matter, so I'm just gonna let it hang out here. It'll look all pretty when it's all done anyways. But yeah, you can see that shift plate bolts in here, here, and here. So anyways, if you're curious, it's pretty fucking easy to take off, so that's no problem. We gotta get down here, pedal box and all this shit, which I'm not super stoked about. I've never vacuumed this car out, but these BMW tan mats, dude, come on. Oh, look at that, it's almost like I've done this before. Oh, maybe not. Where does this go? Can you tell that I could give a fuck about the tan interior? Oh, maybe unplug that. That'd be a wise decision. I've made the decision, before I get too frustrated messing with this in the dark, I'm just gonna pull the whole car out. So I did some musical cars. Ta-da! And yeah, I'm just gonna put this here. I don't know what's happening. Top 10 dumbest things. Oh, there we go. This thing sees daylight yet again. You guys will have a way better view like this though. So as you can see, got this panel off. These things were kind of a bitch for some reason. The pedals, they plugged in way up there. Gotta start taking some shit apart. Alright, so keep in mind I am just referencing the Menace video, because that's kind of the whole series that I'm referencing for my swap. Anyways, so I have to take this panel off, some 10mm bolts, and yeah, this will come off. There's a little duct for the AC I'll have to remove, and then we could probably get better access to the pedals. So there's a clip that lives on the end of that pedal there, so I just removed that with a pick. Then the little spring has to come off. That's gonna be fun. But with the spring, I'm just gonna do with what I did with that clip. I'm just gonna pry it off with the pick. But you see this spring, it'll come out. Just have to pry it out. So I'm gonna pry that spring, and then I'll get the 10 with an extension and just try to get this guy out. I was considering just transferring the clutch pedal over so I didn't have to take this whole thing out, but I have to poke the holes out anyways, might as well. Alright, as you can see, I've got this pedal, automatic brake pedal mechanism out completely, so the bracket's out. Put the little spring back just for now. I think that's how it went, just to replicate. That's kind of what you got to do. So it's pretty easy. All you do is pull this clip, super easy, and then take this bracket out once that clip is out and kind of like rotate it out. That way the pedal can extend all the way out as far as you need it to. And then with the spring, literally just take some needle nose pliers or a pick and kind of just pry at it, yank on it, and really from either end. And then that thing is out. And again, unplug this, but that's pretty easy. And then yeah, that thing's out. All right, now once your pedals are out, you can see you have your access holes, one there and one right there to run your lines. So that's kind of the biggest thing on why I wanted to wait or get this done before I put the engine in. You can definitely do it without it. It's just there's tons of room. You can step into the engine bay right now. All right, so as you can see, this is the pedal assembly that came out of the car with these hella rusty brackets for some reason. And then we got this pedal bracket. You can see the physical difference is the actual brake pedal. So if you are adding a clutch pedal, just know you'll probably have to cut this, or I don't know, I'm sure it wouldn't interfere, but it would be kind of funky. So brake pedal manual, brake pedal auto. Luckily we have two separate setups, so I can kind of reference this one even though it's not the exact same. Like when I took this apart last night, I had no idea where the clutch switch and brake switch bracket went, but now that it's on this, it's the same fucking bracket. So easy enough to find out where everything goes. So I'm going to try and put as much of this together that I can now, and then I'll catch up with you guys when I'm putting it back in the car. Actually, I still need to route. I need to take the master off and route that line through. Every time I lose a little bit of motivation, I just have to remind myself that very soon I will have a pretty gangster 95 Alpine Coupe to match my 95 Daytona M3. I'm so excited to have this duo, but this car needs to get finished. I keep losing a little bit of motivation, but I'm getting it back. As you can see, I'm back with the manual pedal assembly. I won't even lie, it's been a considerable amount of time that has gone by between last time you saw it and now. But what I did, so if you can see, you got this spring. It's supposed to have a bracket, like a little metal bracket that sits in here. I don't think it's going to be the end of the world. Like, it still works and functions. It just probably risks slipping out a little bit easier. But what I did in order to get all this on, I actually compressed the spring with zip ties. The fucking issue is that now that this is compressed, I don't know how I'm gonna actually get them out. So you can see how that shebang works. I think I might have better luck with this maybe. I don't know. So anyways, I'm gonna work on getting these fucking things out, and then I can route that hard line. Alright, so as far as routing the clutch hard line that goes from the master to the soft line to the slave, it's kind of a bitch. You can do it. I did it from inside the car. People said to not even try doing it from inside of the car. But to be fair, I have no idea if this is the proper routing. I'll show you kind of how it routes. So it goes through the firewall. It comes out the firewall, kind of underneath the master cylinder. And it has like a kink to it. So I ran it underneath the master. because what I was trying to do is every time I would poke through, it would come up here, and then I was trying to route it over here, but that didn't really make any sense. And you know, it does go to the soft line that then goes to the slave. Oh shit, I might have just popped it out of the fucking firewall again. Okay, anyways, I got it to come down here underneath the steering shaft. Not sure if that's right, but if anything, I think that's in the right spot, so it can be moved later on. Luckily the line is still here. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and now put the pedals back in, and then connect that line to the slave, or to the master. To get that line into the master, there's these little, it's probably hard to see, but you just poke a pick through there. See if I could, yeah, grab that clip, and you can pull that out, pop the line in there, and then put that clip back in. Anyways, I think I can put this all together in here without having to take all this apart, but I might have just wasted time putting this together outside, but we'll see what happens. I'm gonna just try and get it in one go. Let's see. All right, we are officially 3 pedals proper. Check that out. So as you can see, we got the clutch. The slave is through the firewall. I'm not sure you can see that too well, but yeah, the slave is through the firewall there. The hard line is out. I'll show you where that's at. Brake pedal, something weird is going on here. I don't know if I quite set this up right, because there is the little helper spring for the brake pedal. I don't even know if that's, I don't know. Anyways, so this is all pretty dialed in here. I'm just gonna double check, and yes, I still have to run the soft line from the slave, so that's gonna suck. Oh, I just realized I might be actually pretty fucked with that. Oi. Anyways, hard line is out here by the trans tunnel. You can see routes over here. Perfect. So I think that's exactly where it's supposed to be. Other than that, I'm gonna throw some things back together. I think I'll actually vacuum the car out a little bit, and I might pull this seat out because I think I'm done with this seat for now. So yeah, pedals are done. All right guys, welcome back. It is the next day. Yesterday you saw me install the pedal assembly for the manual transmission. That was a total pain in the ass, I'm not gonna lie. But it is done. The pedals are in, the shifter is in. You can see, oh god, there's the clutch hardline. I am not sure, still not 100% sure exactly where this is supposed to go, but I'd imagine that this is relatively in the right space. So if it has to be moved, I shouldn't have to uninstall it. The only other thing I didn't do when I installed the pedals was that soft clutch line that goes up to the booster here. I don't have the line. I bought my pedal set used and it just didn't come with the line, so I'll have to buy one. And then other than that, there's a little boot for the master cylinder. So because that master cylinder goes through the firewall and it's pretty sharp, it's supposed to be a boot there so you don't cut your line open. So before I get too ahead of myself, at some point I'll have to go ahead and create like a padding for that. I'm not sure yet. Alright, so I figured I'd unbox this as well. I've already opened this on camera and everything, but it was on the GoPro, it just didn't look good, so I'm gonna go ahead and show you what I got from pretty much my favorite place to order BMW parts, Condor Speed Shop. So this is a stainless soft line, and don't quote me, but I believe that this goes from the hard line to the slave. I've never dealt with the manual transmission swap, so I'm pretty sure that that's what this does. I just figured instead of buying an OEM one, go with a stainless one that we don't have to worry about leaking, or, you know, just one less thing to worry about. I think it was only 30 bucks or so. And I'm pretty sure I put it in the video, but I did install, in this package, I got the clutch pedal bushings as well, and I did replace those, and they are now on the pedal, so that pedal feels brand new, which is awesome. But I'm very, very, very excited for what is here. These are our poly transmission mounts, and these are our poly engine mounts. I want to go ahead and install the engine mounts now. I'd love to put the transmission mounts on, but I do not have the Getrag cross member yet, which is a pain. I'm still looking for that, so if you have one, please hit me up. because it is the only thing I've been able to not been able to find. These mounts are fairly new, and I've not talked to anybody, or I don't know anybody that has actually run these mounts, so I'd be very curious to find out what these are all about, because you know, this is Condor's solution to kind of the in-between between like full poly and OEM. So it's that in-between, that middle ground. Hopefully they will ride closer to the OEM side than like a solid setup, and that's what I'm trying to avoid with this car. But I still want some really good mounts that are still secure and solid and feel a little stiffer than OEM. So we'll see how these go. I'm gonna throw these on the subframe now, just because it's easy. The mounts are sitting right here, the engine's out of the car, so might as well. And then for the transmission mounts, I won't worry about those until I actually have the cross member to do it. But let's get these mounts thrown in. All right, so here's our old motor mount. It's not terrible, it's not torn up or anything, but it'll be a super solid upgrade to get these Condor VIP mounts in. So these look really sweet. They definitely feel pretty stiff. Like, I'm not sure what the grade of polyurethane it is, but it's pretty stiff. I'm really hoping, and actually now that, you know, I'm feeling them, I can see them up close, I'm sure they'll vibrate like crazy, but I don't know. My guess is as good as anybody else's, because I've never run these or talked to anybody that has. So only thing I will say is I think that these, well, I don't think, I know, these are a little bigger than the OEM mounts. So you can see, like, I don't know, I'd say that's a good inch. So maybe that raises our motor an inch. That's what I would guess. I don't remember it saying anything on their website about these also being risers, so I'm not sure. I'll have to look into that. All right, that was pretty easy. Didn't even bother filming something like this, because, I mean, it's pretty dang easy. Just going from the bottom, from the little holes in the control arm with an extension. And the torque spec on these, so the torque spec from the engine mount to the subframe is 33 foot-pounds, which seems kind of low, but I'm sure they know what they're doing. BMW designed the car. I went a little bit more than 33. I just tend to do that, but yeah, I think it'll be fine. And you know, it's solid, it's on there. And I'm gonna put the other side on. Might be a little trickier because the steering shaft is there, but not really. So I'll get back to you when they're both in. Those complement the bay pretty nice. I think the pink is pretty rad. So you can see these are installed. They, well, I mean, we'll see how they feel. There's not really anything that I can say about them now other than that they're pretty cool looking. They got the little Condor stamped into the actual polyurethane part of the bushing. So I just read that these are, and this is off their website, that these are to the same specification stiffness wise, and they use the same polyurethane as the Group N BMW mounts. I guess like same grade of poly, I'm not sure. But yeah, so these are like an OEM Plus upgrade. I'm really hoping they perform that way, and in combination with the transmission mounts that are matching to create the set, hopefully this car will feel really good from the chassis standpoint, because I am using the chassis mount shifter. Now, it's really crucial that you do use some sort of solid mounts for your chassis mount shifter if that's the route that you go, because it is bolted directly to the tunnel, and all of that force is, all the vibrations, everything is connected directly to the tunnel. On my M3, I just had solid transmission mounts, or they're poly transmission mounts, and just stock engine mounts, and it was fine, but I wouldn't have done that long term. So that's why on this car I didn't stick with OEM. I decided to go with a slightly higher grade mount, just because I am running a solid setup in here, and I don't really think that I'm gonna change it. I think it's just gonna be solid its whole life. I'm not adding the carrier bushing or the carrier at all. Like, all of that is you know, gone. It won't be included, and it just makes the swap a little bit easier, less parts to worry about. Now, I know this series has been all over the place, but if I'm being honest, there's not a ton of viewers and not a ton of support on this series, so I just haven't been making tons of content on it. It just doesn't seem like people are that interested in watching it, which is fine. I'm gonna see this car through and finish it, and all of the exciting stuff will be when this car runs and drives and I can actually make cool content with it, but for now, I'm just slaving away at finishing it. So with that being said, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for the next video. I got my clutch in, and I'll probably try and include that in the next video. I'm trying to keep myself up to date here with videos. It's very hard because there's so many things that are happening at once. It's hard to stay updated, but stay tuned. We are almost to the point where we can drop this engine transmission in. That will be very soon. So keep watching. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Peace.